Okay, now summary. Let's wrap this whole thing up. If your brain isn't hurting by now, then I'd be surprised. Okay, we've talked about a lot. I want to just summarize everything by saying it's all about the swing. It's not about the golf clubs. Okay, it's not about the products. It's about the swing. I can't emphasize that enough. That concept is what changed my life. That's what helped me to get out of the worst financial situation I've ever been in, is understanding that money is about the swing, not the products that you're buying. You can Google this online and people are going to tell you life insurance is bad. They're going to tell you annuities are bad. They're going to tell you all sorts of things are bad. You could see a lot of negative stuff about the 4% rule too. It's all about understanding how it all works. So what are my recommendations for you? Well, it's hard for me to recommend if I don't even know you. I don't even know you, so how can I make a recommendation? But I'll give you some general ideas. You might wonder, what clubs should I use? What strategy should I use? Which swing should I be looking at? Well, ask yourself a few questions. Where are you at on the course? Are you next to the hole or are you just teeing off? Where are you at on the course? Okay? What are your objectives? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to grow your money for retirement? Are you trying to live on your money now in retirement? Are you trying to pass money to the next generation? Okay? What's your risk tolerance? You may love having money in the stock market, or you may love having your money in the bank, or you might like somewhere in the middle with the indexed accounts. What's your risk tolerance? There's so many things to consider, but I'm going to summarize it and I'm going to give you some general ideas. These are some general recommendations. Now, I'm going against one of my biggest pet peeves, which is I hate people on the radio or on the internet who are giving everybody a blanket recommendation. Because again, if you're in the bottom half of the country, you probably shouldn't even be watching this video. You should be subscribing to what Dave Ramsey talks about, staying out of debt and everything else. But if you're in the top half of the country, or if you want to be in the top 1% of the country, then you need to think like these wealthy people think. So I want to kind of give you some general recommendations. There's 4 categories of money. There's money for emergencies or for investment opportunities. In other words, money that you need access to. If you need access to the money, I strongly recommend the life insurance. Not the Kaizen, not the premium financing, just the regular life insurance as a maximum efficient contract with minimum insurance, because you can borrow against it for an emergency or you can borrow against it for an investment opportunity, and you could pay back the loans or not pay back the loans. Totally up to you. Okay? Now, you also have limited access to the money in the beginning, so maybe for the first couple of years, you just put the money into the bank. Now, I can't tell you where you can get a decent rate of return and still have access to the money with no risk. You could put your money in the stock market, but you could lose it. You could put the money in the bank, but it's not going to grow. But if access to the money is important, then you might give up rate of return for access to the money. But if you can wait a few years, you can't beat the life insurance for access to the money. How about money that you're saving for retirement? I know that I'm going to sound biased, but I believe in my heart of hearts that you cannot beat the life insurance when it comes to saving money for retirement. Now, is your company giving you a match on your 401k? Well, great. Look at the Kaizen premium financing product. Talk about getting a match. That's the best match ever. If you really want to put in just enough to get a match, then put your money into the Roth 401k and the company will match your money in the traditional 401k side. But I truly believe that taxes are probably going to go up in the future. So I would put your money into the Roth 401k and I would only put in what they're matching, not a penny more than what they're matching. And I would honestly consider how that premium financing compares to even what you're getting in a match, because you can also get a match from the bank. So I would strongly consider the life insurance as a way of saving money for retirement. I honestly don't think you can beat it. I don't think you can beat it because it's all income tax free, guaranteed to never lose. I mean, you know all the benefits that we've been talking about. Okay, now the third category of money would be the income that you need during retirement to cover your basic lifestyle, to cover your expenses, to cover your insurance costs, your utilities, your mortgage payment, whatever it is that you have. This is to cover your nut. I strongly believe that you will not find a better income in retirement, especially that is guaranteed, than you can from an income rider on that indexed annuity off of that protected income value. So if you already have money, if you have IRA money, 401k money, money that you want to carve out to cover your basic living expenses, you can't beat the income from that annuity. However, you could also get income from rental properties. But again, what if you don't have a renter? If you don't have a renter paying rent, then your income goes down. Those are some things to consider. The annuity is going to give you that guaranteed income during retirement that will also be guaranteed to go up as the market goes up to keep up with inflation. Very difficult to beat that from a retirement income standpoint. So for any 401k money, IRA money, or just carving out some money from your taxable brokerage account, anything that you want to give you a guaranteed lifetime income stream, I would consider looking at the numbers of how the protected income value will give you the maximum income stream. But again, retirement income is also optional, rental income off of real estate is also another option for this category of money. And then the fourth category of money is money that you want to pass on to the next generation. Now, in my opinion, this is where your stocks come in. Just like we talked about earlier with the wealthy that are hanging on to their stocks and not selling them because you're not taxed until you sell them. Now, if you're trading them on a yearly basis and you're creating a lot of taxes, not very efficient actually. But if you can pick some good stocks, leave that money alone and let it grow and compound, and all of that money passes to your kids because you don't need it to live on. If you don't need it to live on, but it's nice to have in case of an emergency or in case you live longer than you think or whatever the case may be. But money in a stock portfolio is a great way to leave money to the next generation because they get that step up in basis. They don't have to pay taxes on it. They could get that money tax-free upon death if you don't sell it while you're alive. If you do sell it while you're alive, then there's of course taxes on it. Real estate is also a great way to pass money to the next generation. You could pass money through real estate because your real estate, whether it's just a family cabin or a condo on the beach somewhere, or whether it's all your investment properties, they can all pass to the next generation income tax free because of that step up in basis. Real estate is an excellent way to leave money to the next generation. And of course, life insurance. Life insurance is literally a check that they receive. They don't have to worry about selling real estate. They don't have to worry about when to sell the stocks. You don't have some kids that want to sell and some kids want to hang on to it. I mean, obviously there's a lot of things to consider that go way beyond the numbers when it comes to leaving money to the next generation. The way that the kids get the money and the fighting that might go on, this can get ugly. So to keep the peace, sometimes life insurance where you have a trust that identifies how the money gets passed to the kids. You could maybe even have the money go to the grandkids. So the money passes to the trust. The trust identifies that the grandkids have to use the money for college or for a down payment on a house, whatever the case may be. But those are all some great ways to leave money to the next generation. I do believe in my heart of hearts that leaving IRA money to the next generation is not ideal. The government will get a huge chunk of it. You're going to be destroyed in the taxes are going to destroy that IRA money when it passes to the next generation. I strongly believe all IRA money, 401k money, all those qualified plans should be spent in retirement. That's what they were for anyway. In fact, the government has required minimum distributions. They force you to spend that money in retirement. Put that into an income driven, like a protected income value, a guaranteed income stream, an income rider on the annuity so that you have that guaranteed income. I would not leave your IRA monies to the next generation if possible. So those are some things to consider.